And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another video game review, and today I am reviewing One Piece Odyssey, the One Piece game. Obviously, my good friend Jeffofthemellows let me borrow this game. He's the big One Piece fan in the group, and let me borrow this game. JRPG game based off of One Piece characters on the Switch. It didn't come out that long ago, and obviously I've played a lot of RPGs, JRPGs, all that sort of stuff. So, what did I think of this game? I got a lot of thoughts on it, so let's just jump right into it, shall we? And okay, so I will say, this game is the games that I can relate to much with this is the Mario and Luigi games, because those are also obviously RPGs, and I thought these two games are structured very similarly to each other. You're going in between different worlds, kind of exploring the worlds, fighting enemies along the way, common enemies, but also, there's a story tied to it. You have multiple different characters and everything like that. And there's a lot of elements that I think they took that were good, that are similar to each other, and also things that are bad that are similar to each other. And there's also some differences that I'll kind of go over. I will say that the characters, the graphics, the landscapes all look really, really good. And I think one of the stronger points for this game are the dynamics of the characters. There's a lot of funny dialogue. There's some fun dialogue, and they kind of banter with each other. And it is definitely one of like I said, the stronger points of the game. It makes the dialogue kind of worth it, because there's a lot of dialogue in this game. And so the dynamics of the characters really do help with making that a little bit more fun to sit through and to read. So that was good. So that was good. And I also did like the combat, though I do have a couple of complaints about the combat. Because I think overall the combat is better than the Mario and Luigi combat. Not by like a decisive amount, but I do think in a lot of ways it's better. You don't always fight a ton of enemies at one time. And I think the bigger, I wouldn't call them necessarily, oh yeah, they were bosses, but they weren't like mega big bosses or anything like that. Which those can be kind of annoying. You gotta really grind through those, even if you are slightly higher level. But a lot of the common enemy fights are good too. My big complaint with this game, with the combat, is the fact that it's very, very straightforward. Pretty about 99% of what you're going to experience in the combat is given to you at the beginning, in the first few fights. Because, so there are some characters that do switch out every now and then that you sometimes can use, but sometimes you can't. But mostly you're going to be sticking with the main crew here. And there's no real way to you do upgrade them. There's level ups, and that makes them stronger, and obviously kind of changes some of the stuff through battle. But for the most part, it stays mostly the same. I will say also there's it kind of just makes it a little stale through the most part. There's also no way to counter attacks, which is something that's different from the Mario and Luigi games. And I would maybe like to see a way to not a lot of these attacks. There's no real way that I think it would make sense to incorporate a counter move, but some of them there is, and I would have liked to maybe see that a little bit. And there just wasn't any of that, which can be annoying. But overall, I did think the combat was a lot of fun. Where I will say the Mario and Luigi games are very similar to this game is kind of with the fluff and the story. The stories are obviously going to be different. It's One Piece Mario. They're going to be a lot different, right? So I'm not talking about that part of it. I'm talking about just kind of like the overall structure. There's a lot of fluff in this game. a lot of just running around in areas where there isn't a whole lot to do. Yeah, there's going to be sometimes stuff to collect. There's going to be sometimes chests to open. Sometimes there's going to be enemies to fight. But not all the time. A lot of times you're just running through towns, or you're running through open plains or hills or whatnot, just doing whatever. It's not necessarily like, yeah, it's not. I will say it's not like Mario and Luigi where it's just cut, battle, done, take 2 steps, battle again. It's not that. There's not as many enemies. There are some more crowded areas throughout the game, but I thought the most part it was a little lighter, which actually I think did this game better. But yeah, there's a lot of fluff that really just takes up the runtime of this game. A lot of mundane tasks as well. A lot of the missions are a little more mundane. And maybe that's just because I don't understand the full scope of the game, because I'm not a big One Piece fan. I haven't watched a lot of One Piece. I'll be honest, sorry Noah, I don't really care that much. From what I've seen, it's cool, and I don't hate the show. I like it. It's just not something that I'm going to get as invested in as Noah is, or as other people are. And you know what? Vice versa with some other aspects. That's okay. I'm just not going to understand it. Maybe that's something I'm just missing. I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of, there just wasn't a lot of intriguing stuff in between the areas where you really do like the puzzles or the big battles, or, a lot of progression and that kind of stuff, which it kind of feels like fluff. I'm sorry, it does. So, but that's my thoughts on the game. I kind of dogged on the game a good amount, but I think it's a really fun game. Character dynamics are interesting. I still do really like the combat, and where you can do a lot of cool, like exploring, platforming, battling, or just overall, some fun, interesting character dynamics, or other fun things to do. It can be a lot of fun. There's just a lot of fluff to it, and it gets kind of stale in some points, and that is why I'm not super high on this game. But if you're a One Piece fan, 100% recommend picking this game up. And if you're a JRPG fan, or an RPG fan, I guess, pick this one up too. I think it's still pretty well done, and I would definitely recommend giving it a shot. So, for my final score though, I would have to give it a 7 out of 10. That's a good score for it, in my opinion. If I was a bigger One Piece fan, it'd probably be closer to an 8, maybe even a 9. But I think 7 is a good spot for me to put it. And though anyways, that's going to do it for this review. If you've ever played this game, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments section down below. And that's going to do it for this video as well. So stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more video game reviews and other awesome stuff. And until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.